Okay, so Brian, it's your son that has the type 1 diabetes. Did you guys find out when he was born? I guess what was that kind of like?
So, yeah, my son Sean, he's 10 now. He's almost 11. We found out the last day of September this year, actually.
Okay.
It's kind of strange. We were at Taba Fest, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I was working the booth, and my wife was there with my son, and she said something to me. She goes, "He's been in the bathroom a lot." I said, "Okay, that's weird." And my first thought was that he's had it before, was maybe he had a bladder infection or something like that, right? When we got home, we used the bathroom a couple more times. We ate dinner, he used the bathroom 3-4 times. She's like, "You need to take him to urgent care. This is not right." I said, "Okay." So get him in the car. She stayed home because we had some guests, and I get over to the urgent care in Blakeney, and talking to the doctor, and he goes, "Oh, okay, all right, we'll take a urine sample, see what's going on." And he comes back, and the doctor has that ominous look on their face, like, something's wrong, but you don't know what yet. It's like, tell me what's going on.
Right.
And so he says, "Well, we found some sugar in his urine." I said, "Okay." He goes, "We need to check his blood sugar." I said, "Okay." I'm not even thinking.
Diabetes.
Right. And so he does the blood sugar check. Now, for most people, you may not know what a normal blood sugar is. It's anywhere from like 80 to 150. Typically, if you're not diabetic, it'd be under 120.
Okay.
But for somebody that's managing diabetes, 100 to 150 is probably like the golden number I found out. So comes back in, and his look is worse this time. I go, "Oh no."
Okay.
What's going on? He said, "Well, our machine goes up to 700, and it says 700 plus." He goes, "Most people would probably be in a coma at this point."
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm looking at my son next to me. I'm going, he's functioning, talking like scared to daylight time, because I didn't even know something was wrong with him.
Right.
And the doctor's telling me, "You need to get him to Levine Children's Hospital," which is like 30 minutes away from where we were. He goes, "Drive carefully." And I'm going, "Oh gosh, my child has a problem, and I need to drive carefully to the hospital." Like, these two things in my head just don't go together.
No.
So get him in the hospital. He's in the hospital for 2 days. First thing they did in the hospital is they gave him insulin. And what I didn't know at that time is that meant from here on out, this is going to be his life. And
Okay.
I just had no idea what laid ahead for him. He's been doing really well managing it, but oh my gosh, when I tell you it scared the daylights out of me at the time, like, I didn't know. I looked it up because I wasn't sure. Your kid gets sick, you do a lot of reading, right?
Right.
40,000 people, typically children, are diagnosed each year with type 1 diabetes, and that's just such a staggering number. Right. They're working towards, and this is part of what we did the walk for, they're working towards research to get an artificial pancreas working for a patient. Actually, I probably should have started there. What type 1 diabetes is that the patient's pancreas stops producing insulin. So when you don't produce insulin, your blood sugar spikes, because the insulin's what manages the blood sugar. It takes the sugars out of your food and turns it into energy for your body to use. So I didn't know any of this. But when your child gets sick, you start learning a whole lot. So he has to take insulin at least 4 times a day, sometimes 5 or 6 if he'll have a snack, or if his blood sugar's higher at at bedtime. And he's pricking his finger at least 6 times a day. Wow. So, I mean, he takes it like a champ, and he just does it. But I can't imagine, like, I want this to go away for other people. I don't want other people to have to deal with it, and obviously my son one day not to deal with it. So all this research that they're doing is just awesome. And we saw so many people that were there for this cause on Saturday at the walk. It was just so awesome to see this big community working towards this goal.
Right.
And it was really heartwarming to see so many people caring about this cause. And the thing that really made me feel good was I went to the team and I said, "Hey, I want to walk for this," and everybody was available, was there. I think we had probably 3/4 of the team walking that day, and it was just awesome to know that we have that sense of community here and willing to help. So
really, your work family is like your second family.
Exactly.
So, so with Sean's like day-to-day schedule and stuff like that, does he have to do it when he's at school? How does that kind of factor into your, parental role? Did you have to sign papers and stuff like that with the nurses?
Oh yeah. So we have to sign papers with the school. Before he goes to eat lunch, he goes and checks his blood sugar and takes the insulin. So what he has to do is every meal, he has to count how many carbs will be in his meal. So let's say his blood sugar, for Sean for an example, let's say his blood sugar was 200.
Okay.
That means he has to take a half a unit of insulin, and let's say that he's taking 48 grams of carbs in for his meal, that will mean that he'll take an additional, hold on, let me think, 4 units of insulin.
Wow.
So he would take 4.5 units of insulin. Now they've come a long way. It's in a pen. It's literally a pen that he uses that he puts a needle on the end, wipes the area down with alcohol and injects it. He's done in less than 2 minutes probably.
Okay.
But yeah, he does have to go up to the office at the nurse's office at the school before he eats his meals.
Okay. So with this walk that we did this past weekend, how much money did we raise as a team? How much, overall, how much money was raised from the walk? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So our team alone raised $855.
Okay.
And I believe the number was somewhere around $700,000 that they raised at the walk at Carowinds.
Wow. That's awesome.